What's going on, everyone? I am Brian Downard, your host of Laptop Empires, and this is episode number 30. Now, this show is sponsored by the Laptop Empire Lab, a community for digital marketers around the world. And today, what we're going to be talking about is a couple of the takeaways that I got from a recent event that I went to. So, before we dive in, let me give you some context and a little bit of background. Now, I've mentioned in the past that I work with patio furniture stores. They are some of my best clients, even though that industry is very seasonal and it can be frustrating because when the summer ends, a lot of people, their businesses slow down and that reflects in how they spend on their marketing. But nonetheless, this is an industry that I have ingrained myself in and have learned a lot about. So they had one of the biggest events of the year in Chicago last week, and that's why I've been a little bit on a hiatus. I was visiting some friends out there in the city and attending this event. So not only was the building and the event beautiful and incredible, and there's a lot of really interesting things going on, it was also a huge learning experience. Because typically when I've gone to events like this, a lot of people are networking, right? They're meeting other people, they are finding out new ideas, learning new things, there are speakers and going room to room and really trying to engage with different people. This event was totally different. Now, this industry has events like that where there are guest speakers and people go to network, but this was really a buyer's market and seller's market. So meaning almost everyone there was either a buyer for a retail store or a rep for a company that was trying to sell them something. Now, a lot of those interactions may have been random, and reps were going showroom to showroom, finding new things and maybe purchasing new products, but a lot of people were even scheduled. So it was almost just like a reason for everyone to get together. And even though they could have done a lot of these deals on the phone, they had already scheduled ahead of time to go speak with these people. So what I did, and what I'm getting to on this episode, what I tried to do to meet new people without being pushy. Now, originally, my idea was to do this, and it's probably going to be really hard to read this, so I will read it to you just in case you can't see it. But basically what I did was I printed this little business card, and the business card says, "Have you ever shopped on Amazon.com? Notice how their ads follow you around the internet? Want the same thing for your website?" And then the smaller text says, "Contact Brian at briandownard.com and mention Casual Market," which was the name of the event. "As a favor to friends of the industry, I'm offering to install a simple free tool provided by Facebook onto your website, which will give you the ability to show ads to people who visited your website, just like Amazon. I'm providing this one-time service at no cost." Now, I printed about 100 of these, and I was able to give maybe about a dozen away with my business card to people. But what I quickly realized is people weren't in that state of mind at this event. So I quickly needed to change my approach. And again, I'm telling this episode might be a little bit different where I'm offering specific tips, but I am going to be through this story, hopefully you can learn about how you can adjust like I did at this event when things possibly aren't the way you thought they might be. And you can maybe learn from this story, so when you go to events like this or different events, you can take some of what I did, including this card, or how I pivoted at this event to your advantage. So again, once I realized that people weren't really in that state of mind, they were there to either buy or sell, I quickly realized what I needed to do was go speak to the representatives who were selling to the retailers. Now, the retailers were who I wanted to work with. But again, they were so busy, they were trying to buy their furniture, get organized, enjoy the event, and not really get sold marketing services, really even talk about marketing. Even though it might have been interesting to them and they were just maybe have been polite, that's not really my style to go try and cram something into someone's face when they're just in a different state of mind. So recognizing this, I started to go befriend and communicate more with the reps who weren't busy. So I saw they didn't have customers, they were just hanging out. I got to befriend these reps. Some of them gave me tours of their showroom. And what I did is, through asking questions about them, their showroom, and their clients, learned which ones had access to large groups of retailers who I potentially wanted to work with. So what I was doing was collecting their business cards, and today is actually the day that I'm going to go and follow up with them. I wanted to give them at least the weekend and Monday to catch up after the event, but I'm going to go back to these people, say it was nice to meet them, and try and set up follow-up phone calls so they can introduce me to their retailers. So what I want you to take away from this episode and what I learned at this event is, you really need to feel out the event, and if it's not a traditional networking event where people are going about and really trying to meet new people, find the opportunities where you can connect with people in a non-salesy way who later have the potential to introduce you to other people. It's all about relationship building. And again, I probably went in with the wrong state of mind that I thought I was going to be able to talk more about what I did, but it was really more about just talking about what they do, identifying if they can possibly help me in the future, and then making an effort to now follow up with them after the event. So that's the first takeaway. The second takeaway is when you go to these events, you want to explore the after events, the after parties, the things like that. And each event is different and will have its own parties or little groups of people who will meet up after, but this is really where people are more in that state of mind of enjoying themselves, having a good time, and just talking about things other than business, even though that might naturally come up because you're at an industry event. Now, we went to a piano bar with about a dozen people from the industry, and it was really, really fun because we all ended up drinking a bunch together, laughing at the crazy dueling pianos, and just enjoying putting in songs, giving each other a hard time, and just really learning about each other on a personal level that now I can go follow up with those people. And because we've got a genuine relationship that wasn't just like, hey, here, I'm Brian, would you like to buy my stuff? They got a deeper connection, and they were still able to learn a little bit about me. So if you are an introvert, and it's funny, I've been forcing myself to be less of an introvert. When you hide behind a computer and do marketing all day long, it's easy to be like that. So if you are like that, I want to challenge you to go out there and put yourself out there and go to more of these events. And don't go in with the mindset like I did that you're going to be able to sell everyone. Go in with the mindset of trying to give away some value. So like I was doing, give away value to the right people and connect with the right people at the events. Even if they're not going to be the person you'll ultimately sell to, they can introduce you. And again, of course, go outside the doors of those events, hang out with the people in a casual, personal setting so you can build relationships with them on a deeper level than just business. And again, that can bridge into a business relationship, or at the very least, referrals for other people that they know in the industry. All right, so I hope this episode has been helpful for you. Again, I am Brian Downward, and this is Laptop Empires, episode number 30, and I will see you guys in the next one.